Hi there, this is Ms. Voiles, and today we're going to be talking about FAFSA and financial aid. Specifically, we're going to be going over college costs, what is the FAFSA, financial aid, and scholarships. College costs include direct costs, indirect costs, and personal expenses. Direct costs includes tuition, housing, and your meal plan, otherwise known as room and board. Indirect costs include your application fee, books and supplies, student fees, and a parking pass if you're planning on bringing a car to campus. You also have to consider personal expenses such as transportation, laundry, bills, and fun or self-care such as going out with your friends or treating yourself to a cup of coffee. When looking at different schools, you might see a phrase called cost of attendance, otherwise seen as COA. We're going to be looking at 3 different schools and the various costs of attendance per school. So thinking about all those college costs that we just talked about, for a school like MCC, which is a 2-year community college, it can cost anywhere from over $8,000 to over $12,000 for a student to attend MCC. Now, it's important to keep in mind that community colleges do not include room and board, so when you are factoring your financial situation, you're also going to have to consider if you'll be living somewhere where you don't have to pay rent, or if you are going to have to consider paying for rent and groceries. The next example that we're going to look at is the University of Missouri at Columbia, otherwise known as Mizzou, and this is the public 4-year university. Looking at the college costs, we can see that the example cost of attendance for a Missouri resident living on campus is a little over $30,000, whereas a non-Missouri resident living on campus is paying a little over $48,000 per year. The last school that we're going to be looking at for their example cost of attendance is William Jewell College, which is a private 4-year university. As you can see, including all of the direct costs, indirect costs, and personal expenses that we talked about, students are paying anywhere from a little over $49,000 to over $33,000 per year to attend William Jewell College. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is what is the FAFSA? And FAFSA actually stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. Here's what to know about the FAFSA. It opens up October 1st, and the earlier that families fill out the FAFSA, the better chance that you can get more aid. It is federal student aid, meaning that by filling out the FAFSA, you apply for grants, loans, and work-study opportunities that are provided by the government. It's also used by colleges. They use the FAFSA to create financial aid award packages for students to help them pay for college. There are a few things that you can do to better prepare to file the FAFSA. The first is create an Fsa Id. This is your username and password for the FAFSA. It's important to keep this information somewhere where you can access it because you will be using this for every time you fill out the FAFSA, as well as long as you have student loans. If you are considered a dependent student, whoever will be co-signing your FAFSA with you will also need an Fsa Id. When it comes to filling out the FAFSA, there are some important documents that you need to have on hand. This includes Social Security cards, tax returns, and more. For a full list of all the documents you'll need, please reach out to your college advisor. Time is an important element when it comes to the FAFSA as well. Try to set aside at least 45 minutes to an hour to focus on the FAFSA and not rush through it. Lastly, if you feel like you need additional help filling out the FAFSA, schedule a meeting with your college advisor and they can help you walk through the process. Next, we're going to talk about financial aid. Financial aid can be viewed 3 ways, and that's merit-based, need-based, and specific. Merit-based is financial aid offered in recognition of student achievements. This can be academic achievements, athletic achievements, artistic achievements, and more. Need-based is based solely on the assets and income of the prospective student and their family. Specific financial aid can be based on majors, demographics, alumni connections, and more. Now let's talk about some of the different forms of financial aid. These can include scholarships, which is money for school that you do not have to pay back, and these are usually merit-based. Grants, which is also money for school that you don't have to pay back. Those are usually need-based. And loans, which is money for school that you do have to pay back. Scholarships are usually awarded based on merit, such as academic, athletic, or artistic talent. Some scholarships may involve the need-based component, but the predominant selection criteria are merit-based. Private scholarships are usually awarded by private foundations, community foundations, philanthropists, unions, nonprofit organizations, and for-profit corporations. Grants, like the federal Pell Grant, are usually awarded based on the student's demonstrated financial need. Such need-based grants are usually awarded by the federal government, state governments, and colleges and universities themselves. When it comes to borrowing loans, there are two different types of loans that are offered: unsubsidized loans and subsidized loans. Unsubsidized loans is borrowed money that starts collecting interest as soon as you take it out or as soon as you start using it. Subsidized loans is borrowed money that is interest-free while enrolled at least half-time at school and for the first 6 months after you leave school during a period of deferment. The last thing that we're going to talk about is scholarships and where to find them. The first example is the university's website. Many schools have scholarship applications on their website. Search the site for scholarships and financial aid. Community resources. Many local businesses and organizations have scholarships that they give to students in their community. Your counselor. Your high school counselor might know of scholarships that your high school has for its students. Scholarships 360 and FastWeb. Websites like these are updating their pages all the time. You can sign up for emails to get notifications for new scholarships. The Hybrid College Advising Team social media. If you follow us at KC_HCAT on Twitter and Instagram, we are always sharing scholarship opportunities that we find. You can also look at the Hybrid College Advising Team website. We actually have a page on our website that is dedicated to scholarships, and we update it every week. If you're interested in checking it out, look at the link in the description below. And that's all I have for my presentation on FAFSA and financial aid. Before you go, we want your feedback. So if you could, please get out your phone, take a picture of the QR code that's on the screen, and complete the short survey. If you're not able to take a picture of the QR code, we do have the link to the survey in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks so much and have a great day. Bye.